Leaving your comfort zone is great, it's important, but why does nobody talk about how freaking hard it is to actually do so? I mean, I'm sure you've heard it before. Leave your comfort zone, that's where growth happens. You don't grow in your comfort zone. But nobody actually talks about the struggles, the fights you go through in this phase of leaving your comfort zone. Now, what is the comfort zone? What is your comfort zone? A comfort zone is basically a safe space. It's an emotional, mental, or physical space where everything feels familiar, safe, controllable, predictable, manageable. It's a place where you don't feel pressured, where you're not challenged, where everything feels normal and safe. The comfort zone isn't a bad place. It's just where progress is not guaranteed. It's where growth is not guaranteed. So why is it hard to leave your comfort zone? Because, we've acknowledged that, yes, it is very hard to leave your comfort zone. Now, there are so many reasons why it might be hard or difficult to leave your comfort zone. One of those reasons is you've been there for a long time. It feels like home. So it's hard to take that step of living there. It's just like leaving your home country to another country. A country where you've lived your whole life, living there to another country to start again or to continue living, it would be definitely very freaking hard. You're leaving the people you know, the food you're used to, the language you speak, the currency you use, every freaking thing. You're leaving all those to a whole new space, to a whole new place where everything feels different. And the truth is, before you leave there, you start overthinking it. You're like, how am I going to cope? How is this whole journey? How is it going to be? And when you actually leave, the first few weeks, everything feels very different. You experience culture shock and all of that. But as weeks turn into months and months into years, you find that you start blending in, you start getting comfortable. So that is basically how leaving your comfort zone feels like. It's always very hard because you've been there for so long, it feels like home. And leaving home isn't always so easy. Another reason why it's hard to leave your comfort zone is the fear of the unknown. Now, every human has this trait of fearing what is unknown. Some people just happen to be able to dial down theirs a little bit and go for what they want without overthinking it. But yeah, the fear of the unknown is one of the reasons people remain in their comfort zone. You might be scared of possible embarrassment, judgments, rejection, mistakes, and all of that. Another reason is risk. Some people are afraid of the risk of failure. What if they fail? All the what if, cynicisms, overthinking that goes on in their head. And the truth is, our brains are wired to feel this way when we're about to try something new. Our brains are wired to accommodate comfort and to be against change or danger. And so when we start thinking about something new, something entirely new that we are not used to, our brain reacts to this by projecting fear and all of that. So having acknowledged that, yes, it is hard to leave your comfort zone, the big question is it worth it? Is it important to leave your comfort zone? A very simple and short answer is yes. It is very, very important and necessary to leave your comfort zone. Outside your comfort zone, you experience new things. You are open to opportunities, newer experiences. You are open to growth. You're open to all of these things that ordinarily you wouldn't be open to if you had remained in your comfort zone. Let me give a very quick example of how leaving your comfort zone can open you to growth and opportunities. I'm someone that I don't like to be seen. I don't like going to places. I just want to be in my room, watch Netflix, eat some food, sleep, and just be away from all the pressures of life. But along the line, something happened that actually made me started questioning my decisions of remaining in my comfort zone. And with that, I had to start thinking of ways I could leave my comfort zone. And one of those ways is starting this YouTube channel. If you had told me that I would start a YouTube channel, I would disagree, because I knew that wasn't me. I don't like all of those stuff. But here I am doing this. It is something that I left my comfort zone to do. And let me explain the growth part. When I say this has helped me grow, I don't necessarily mean the engagements I'm getting, because the truth is I'm not even getting any engagements as of now. This video is being recorded. If you put together all my videos that I've made in this channel, they are not even up to 30 views. But that is by the way. The growth I'm talking about is personal. Now, when I sit down here and talk about how you should pursue your goals, you should get rid of bad habits and all of that, I also implement it in my own life. It'll be hypocritical of me to sit down here and tell you do this, do that, when I'm doing the exact opposite of that, or when I'm not doing any of that. So starting this YouTube channel, sitting down here every day, talking to the camera, talking to people, talking to the 3 people that are watching me, it makes me want to do better for myself, because this is what I'm preaching. So I also want to implement it in my life. And so it's indirectly helps me to grow. So this is just a very personal example of how leaving your comfort zone can help you grow. So yeah, leaving your comfort zone is extremely important. It is extremely useful. You need to leave your comfort zone, because that is where growth happens. Outside your comfort zone is where growth happens. So when you leave your comfort zone, that is where you can evolve. That is where you can change for the better, of course. Remaining in your comfort zone can be detrimental. It can cost you opportunities or even relationships. Another example, myself. When I started dating this guy, he would always complain that I didn't want to be seen with him in public. And I would always try to tell him that is not the case. I just don't like being in social gatherings. I don't like being seen. I don't like leaving my room. I don't like going out and all of that. So he complained about this several times, because he would suggest going out and I would be like, no, I don't want to go out. Instead, let's get food and come home and eat them and all of that. So he was so uncomfortable with it. He didn't like the fact that we never went out. We don't go on dates. We don't go on, we don't do things that people in a relationship do. And at a point, I had to realize that this might cost me my relationship. And I started making adjustments. I started building momentum. I would go out with him. I would make him promise me that we don't spend too much time outside. And with that, I was able to build momentum. And with time, we started going on dates. And so far, we've gone on countless dates. And it's so refreshing. The experience is so wonderful. But if I had remained in my comfort zone, saying, I don't like this, I am not used to this, so I wouldn't do it, I wouldn't have this experience. I wouldn't have this lovely experience that I have now. So, yeah, staying in your comfort zone, as funny as it sounds, can be detrimental. It can cost you so many opportunities. I mean, you wouldn't want to look back in your life somewhere in the future and be like, I wish I did this. I wish I left my comfort zone. You want to be like, I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I left my comfort zone. Having acknowledged that leaving your comfort zone opens you to opportunities, growth, experiences, newer perspective, even confidence. Let's balance the narrative. So, yes, leaving your comfort zone is very hard, but it's exactly why it's worth it. So, you should leave your comfort zone. There are practical ways you can leave your comfort zone. One of those is take small steps. Start small. Take little steps. Don't start with giant leaps. If you have social anxiety, you don't like speaking in public, but it's something you would like to work on, you can start by talking to a stranger. You wouldn't want to just wake up one morning, go to a conference, and stand in the midst of 10,000 people and speak. You would definitely flop. That's not leaving your comfort zone. That is jumping away from your comfort zone. But really, you have to take little steps. You have to start small. If you're someone that you used to be in your comfort zone and you tried leaving it for a while, I'm sure the first day you tried something, you were like, I'm never doing this again. But as time went on, you started seeing that, okay, I could try it again. And when you kept on trying, just little by little, you found out that, okay, you've gotten rid of this fear of doing that new thing which you did. So the point is, build momentum, start small, take small steps, and that will lead you to taking bigger steps in the journey of leaving your comfort zone. Another thing is, surround yourself with people that help you leave your comfort zone, people that encourage you to pursue new things by leaving your comfort zone, because that is very helpful. The environment you are in determines the results you get. So surround yourself with people that help you leave your comfort zone, as long as that is what you want to do. And another thing you need to know is progress or growth isn't linear. It has ups and downs. So you have to understand that you are human. So you're definitely going to come across those times where it feels like, nah, I don't think I'm trying this again. But if you get past that and actually continue trying, you'll find out that you are doing well, and just continue. You have to understand that you are not lazy, you are just human. So if you are in the journey of leaving your comfort zone, starting something new, you will come across those days that it feels draining. It feels like you want to give up. But come on now, you don't want to give up. You just have to take a break or something. Just do something that will take your mind off it. Yes, once again, you have to leave your comfort zone. It's very necessary. If you are a Nepo baby, maybe you come from wealth or you come from money, you necessarily don't have to leave your comfort zone. What I'm trying to say is, if you come from money or you have it easy, there are some things that you might not necessarily need to start trying because you have everything you want. And honestly, that's not even a bad thing at all, because your comfort zone isn't somewhere that is a bad place. It's just somewhere that you might not really see progress. So if you're someone that you already have everything you want and you feel like you really don't want the pressure and challenge from the outside world, by all means, please do remain in your comfort zone. You don't like talking to people, you don't like being in social gatherings. Why do you need that when you have your beautiful mansion where you can just be and play around in? And I'm not even judging. I am actually saying it because I mean it. If I have everything I need, I wouldn't even be worried about having social anxiety, because I really don't even care if I'm out there, because I have it better inside. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But if you don't come from money and you're like some of us, baby, you actually have to start doing those things that are uncomfortable. Because if you remain comfortable, you would grow up sometime in the future regretting why you didn't do those uncomfortable things. It's when you come across uncomfortable encounters that you can bend, you can change, and from change comes growth. So if you really want to grow, please do leave your comfort zone, especially when you know that you don't have it easy, especially when you know that you're not coming from a very wealthy home. So that is basically all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.